then do something. And what we're going to do is elect Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States. There are people who want you to see our country as a nation of us against them, people who want to scare you, who want to rule you, people who'd have you believe that books are dangerous and assault rifles are safe, that there's a right way to worship and a wrong way to love. People who seek first to divide and then to conquer. But here's the thing. When we stand together, it is impossible to conquer us.
You took out a full-page ad in major U.S. newspapers last year criticizing U.S. foreign policy. What would you do differently, Donald?
I'd make our allies, forgetting about the enemies you can't talk to so easily, I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country, because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion, and yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it, Oprah. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. And hey, I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they are beating the hell out of this country. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me, and I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not, but I do get tired of seeing the country ripped off.
Why would you not?
I just don't think I really have the inclination to do it. I love what I'm doing. I really like it.
Also, it doesn't pay as well.
No, it doesn't. But, you know, I just probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably wouldn't, but I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country. And if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally, because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country, how we're really making other people live like kings, and we're not.
Hey, welcome back. It's your man Wise, and yes, we got to talk about it, man. The latest strung from Oprah Winfrey. Oprah, the same Oprah who used to be all chummy with Trump back in the day, made a surprise appearance at the DNC last week, urging voters to choose joy by choosing Kamala. Come on, man. So she was basically out there at the DNC shilling for Kamala and pushing all the usual leftist talking points. The hypocrisy is off the charts now. And not only that, Oprah, a billionaire with a net worth of over $2 billion. Hear me now, $2 billion. Used her speech at the DNC to talk about how she's also been held back by racism and sexism. You heard it right, man. The billionaire media mogul who's been adored by millions has suddenly decided that she's a victim. These people are ridiculous, man.
I've seen racism and sexism and income inequality and division. I've not only seen it, at times, I've been on the receiving end of it.
Really, Oprah? You've got more money than most people could ever dream of, yet you're still out here claiming victim status? I reject it, man. It's just hard to take that seriously, man, especially when you consider her past. And isn't it weird that in a country that supposedly embraces racism, sexism, and income inequality, a black woman can become a multi-billionaire and a black man in Barack Obama can become president? But this is coming from a person who promised to help the people of Maui, and instead she's took their land or stole it, however you want to look at it. So forgive me if I really don't buy any of what she's talking about. She must have struggled very hard getting all those billions. Let's just keep it real, man. This is what the Democrats want you to believe, though. They want you to buy into this victim mentality. This is the idea that no matter how successful you are, you're still oppressed. It's absurd, it's insulting, and it's very insulting to every hardworking American who's struggling to make something of themselves in this country. But anyway, how did we go from Oprah admiring Trump to bashing him, bashing Vance, basically alienating half or more than half of the United States population, calling them racist and sexist? Back in the 80s, she was practically gushing all over Trump. on her show back in the day. She talked about his success, his charisma, and even hinted that he should run for president one day. Now, fast forward to today, and suddenly Trump is the devil incarnate. I mean, cut it out, man. It's all about Trump derangement syndrome, plain and simple, man. That's pretty much what it is. The left is going so far off the deep end that they've convinced themselves that they hate Trump or they need to hate Trump. Even if it means turning on their old friends, they don't care. And the Trump campaign, in its usual glorious fashion, trolled the heck out of Oprah with her private letter to Donald back in the day. Check this out. Donald, I reviewed the book excerpt. I have to tell you, your comments made me a little weepy. It's one thing to try to live a life of integrity, still another to have people like yourself notice. Thank you. And at the bottom of the letter, it reads, too bad we're not running for office. What a team. There you have it, man. This just goes to show you, man, how two-faced these people are. But I've heard that about folks out in Hollywood, man. They're only really with you as long as they feel like you can do something for them. And when you can't, they will lose your phone number. They will act like they don't know you. I mean, these people are always flip-flopping to serve whatever agenda or whoever's paying them to serve an agenda. Remember when, back in 2018, she publicly thanked her dying mom for not aborting her? And now she's out there saying there's no American dream without abortion. Make this make sense, man. Really. And speaking of hypocrisy, let's talk about Oprah's relationship with Trump. You saw it right there in that clip. Back in the day, Oprah was practically fawning all over Trump. Let me let you in on a little secret, though. Trump hasn't changed, folks. He's the same guy today that he was back in the day. The only difference is that he's now running as a Republican. And that's apparently all it takes for the left to turn on you. That's it. Elon Musk recently pointed this out on X. He released a bombshell piece of footage exposing just how deep the hypocrisy goes. Check this out.
Various celebrities in New York, because it was the opening concert in New York, and there were all kinds of celebrities, very, very famous people coming in to be seated. And that when you were seated, you got the loudest applause. People stood up and roared and cheered when you walked in. Why is that? What is this fascination?
I don't know. Maybe I should be a rock star. By the way,
they thought you were going to moonwalk.
He was great. I have to say. No, I did get I don't know why. I really don't know why. I wish I could pinpoint it. I wish I could really tell you why. But I think I've done a good job in New York, and I've done a charitable job in a sense. And Trump Tower has become such a success, and it's as you and I were discussing, it's become the #1 attraction in New York now, Trump Tower. And I think people recognize it. New York people are really proud of it. And people
so you've sort of become like a folk hero. I mean, people, there's someone in this audience, I was reading the audience list, some man who's a businessman, you can tell me who you are later, who went to New York and just wanted to stand by your building, hoping some of the luck would run off.
Is that true? Is he in this audience?
He's in this audience.
We have to find him.
Yeah. And so how do you explain that? Or is there an explanation?
I believe that you make your own luck to a large extent. Well, the word luck is a very important word, very important. There's no more important word than luck, but you can help create or help make your own luck. I walk down the street a lot of times, and people will touch me, and they'll grab for me, and I used to really be insulted because I'm a private guy. I'd say, geez, that's horrible. Somebody punches you in the arm a little bit, and, you're just walking down the street. And then ultimately, I became, in a sense, honored by that because people are really looking for something. Unfortunately, I don't think that has any effect. I don't think it works. I think you have to go out and really work hard and do well.
Yeah. So Elon, how times do change. But thank God for Elon for showing the world what mainstream media will not show you. They don't want you to see this. He's exposing these frauds for exactly who they are, reminding everyone of how these people felt about Trump before the media brainwashed him. This clip went viral, millions of views in no time. And why? Because people are waking up. And it's not just Oprah. So many of these Hollywood elites were all buddy-buddy with Trump back in the day. Before he ran office, a lot of these people, they stayed in his face. They loved him. They loved him when he was building Trump Tower, when he was hosting The Apprentice, when he was making deals and creating jobs. They loved that guy. But as soon as he decided to run for office as a Republican, they all did a 180 on him. Suddenly, Trump is the enemy. Suddenly, he's racist. He's a bigot. He's the worst person on the planet. I mean, it's just completely pathetic, to be honest with you. And this is coming from the same people, from the same person with ties to people like Harvey Weinstein, one of the most notorious predators in all of Hollywood. And they're the ones playing the victim. How many girls have you helped introduce to Harvey, Oprah? I mean, come on. She's been cozying up the Weinstein for years, and now she's trying to take the moral high ground. Okay, don't fall for it, folks. But the truth is, Oprah, like many others, has sold her soul to the Democratic Party. She's abandoned the principles she once claimed to hold dear and pretend to hold dear. Anyway, she's abandoned these principles because apparently to be a Democrat today, you've got to check your values at the door. You've got to toe the party line, no matter how hypocritical it makes you look. Oprah used to be a woman who stood on her own 2 feet, who was proud of the fact that her mom chose life. But now, she's just another cog in the Democratic machine, pushing the same tired, radical, victimhood mindset agenda. This whole thing just goes to show you how fake these people are. And for the life of me, I don't understand why anybody would want to be a part of the Hollywood cabal. I just don't understand it. They're not about principles. They're about politics. They'll throw away their friendships, their value, their families, their integrity, just to stay in the good graces of the leftist elite. But here's the thing. None of us are buying it anymore. We know that Trump hasn't changed. He's still the same America first, hardworking businessman he's always been. It's the media and the Hollywood elites like Oprah who have changed. And maybe they haven't changed. Maybe they are exactly who they've always been, but they did a really good job of hiding who they were. They sold out, though, plain and simple. And we can all see it. But here's the thing. They can't keep the charade up forever. Oprah and the rest of the Hollywood elites can say whatever they want. They can try to rewrite history. They can try to paint Trump as a villain, but the American people aren't buying it anymore. The truth is slowly getting out there, and thanks to people like Elon Musk, it's spreading like wildfire. Thanks to people like him who aren't afraid to speak out and show the truth, more and more Americans are starting to see what's really going on. They're seeing that the left's hatred for Trump isn't about his policies. It's about the mere fact that he's not one of them anymore. Or maybe he was never one of them. He doesn't play by their rules, and that scares the heck out of them. It threatens their hold on power, and they can't stand it. But you know who else isn't buying into this nonsense? Former NBA star Kwame Brown. That's right. He's had enough of these black celebrities trying to shame people into voting for Kamala Harris. He's calling them out too, and he's not holding back, which he never does. He's tired of seeing black people get manipulated by the same elites who don't give a damn about them. Check this out.
So a black woman that used to be an Asian woman that gave $26 billion to Asian Americans, well, she can't do nothing directly for black people, but she did something directly for her people, which is Asian Americans. $26 billion in 2023. Yeah, she can't do nothing for she can't do nothing for black Americans, but Asian Americans can get 26 billion, not million, 26 billion in the forms of government funding and government grants, contracts. Yeah, yeah, Patty. Meanwhile, mothers and fathers can't afford groceries. And I got a video of a black woman saying exactly what you saying. She's like, what does it matter that she's an AKA? What does it matter that she about to get sworn in by some woman that was a justice woman that don't even know how to define what a woman is? What does all that stuff matter? At the grand scheme of things, she said, I got to make a decision on if I can afford groceries, enough groceries and enough gas for the week. When you talk about real situations, people are not concerned with if somebody being black or not. You're not paying nobody bills with your skin color. Kamala Harris is not going to help get your bills paid just because she's black. Inflation is at an all-time high. And when you go and look at the policy, and this is what's sad about Ricky Smiley, D.L. Hughley, Steve Harvey, is that nobody calls these gatekeepers out. Like I said, I came here to expose the go along, get along game. And Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, D.L. Hughley, they are definitely go along, get along game. Just think about it. They don't give you anything intelligent that they say. Steve Harvey just basically sounds like he's shucking and jiving. You know what it is. You know what's going on out here. We black out here. We can't do nothing. And Kamala Harris just sitting there like, yep, you tell them niggas. I'm not going to do nothing for them niggas. You tell them, Steve Harvey. This ain't that. This is alley-oop. What you mean alley-oop? You alley-ooping Americans to this dummy that's not going to give them anything but gave Asians $26 billion? This ain't basketball, Steve Harvey. This is politics. And politics decides people's life. Politics decide where you're going to live, how good you're going to live in that area, the rules you're going to live up under, and the school system. Everything is decided by politics. But you want us to go off of, your mama black, she can't do nothing. You know what's going on. You know what it is. Can't nobody get elected with a black agenda. So why are we voting for it? To vote for somebody that can't do nothing for us.
There you have it. Kwame Brown always going to come with the truth. He just dropped the mic. I don't have anything else to add to it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. Consider joining the ARP family. It supports me, the team, the channel. It gives us the ability to do what we do on a day-to-day basis. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up, and we'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.